This is Justin Amazon on March 9th, 2018. Taking a look at the Friday move on Amazon. What I've got actually up is Thursday, and just looking at how the pre-market opened up, just rallied up from the previous highs from yesterday, the all-time highs from yesterday, and was moving up, then came back down. Oops. Came back down, didn't mean to show that candle. Came right back down into those highs with these candles here, pre-market. Then that large candle came in, and it stayed up there pre-market. But a large bearish candle, on the last number of days, we've had a number of bullish candles be the first 5-minute candles. So something was different today, just with a single candle there. And then came down a little bit, and just sideways. I can kind of see a triangle if you draw a small one here by here, and it looks like it's breaking out on this candle. This is a retest of the breakout, or retest of, we had a high wave candle here with a long lower wick, a dragonfly doji here with a long lower wick. We've got this area being the lowest close on these candles here. Lots of buying pressure here. If this truly was a breakout of a triangle this size, that would be the retest to that same level. The stop, probably the low of the day. To the high would have been at best a 1-to-1. But then it started to bounce and came right up into, I think this made a new all-time high on the regular session. Yep, at 1565.25. But this one at 1565.28, 3 cents higher pre-market. Didn't quite make it that far. But after a number of bullish candles here, just going sideways, small candles, low volume, going sideways, the volume tapering off, we got the squeeze forming, and then it broke out going up bullish. Something was different about this day. With the bearish candle here, there were people taking profits, came back down, didn't even come back down to the pre-market's resistance, just stayed here. And any of these wicks could be or below any of the wicks is where you could put a stop, or even where you could put an entry to go bullish with a stop a little bit below, or give it some more range if you wanted to. Squeeze is not fired yet. We got the momentum forming. A breakout. Don't want to buy the breakout. So there's a breakout into. You can see this and say, okay, maybe it'll roll over. That's what it's been doing. But something's a little different today with that open. And this could easily be an evening star reversal. Maybe it'll come back down to the low of the day like it's been doing some days. But then it just bounced. That was actually a retest. That low of that bearish candle and the low of the bullish candle are both a retest of the pre-market high that it had just broken out of, and it did it quickly. So 5 bearish candles in a row, 25 minutes, 20 minutes of rally, a single 5-minute of a pullback, and then a bounce. The squeeze fired on that candle with a lot of bullish momentum, even starting to taper off a little bit. But then it just kept going. There's another. So, these 3 or 4 candles, this is just consolidation here. There isn't really anything that's really driving it bearish. This is the most bearish you have because of the bearish candle and a long upper wick. Squeeze could still be going, then kind of the flip of that candle still bearish, and then it breaks out of that again. So this would be a great place with an entry above here and a stop here if you were waiting on a breakout, which you don't really want to buy a breakout, you want to buy a retest of a breakout. And we've got just a couple single candle here that made another small triangle with these other bearish candles, and then it just rallied up into the 1570 price high here of 1571.20. Came back down slightly through, it had been following the 5 simple moving average, but this time it's come back a little further. Maybe it'll come back to the 21 that I've got drawn, or maybe not. So it looks like on that high wave doji, then into 6 bullish candles, another high wave doji. Which way could it go? Probably going to continue to go up. And it just kind of went up a little bit, then came back down here and chopped. We've got another squeeze forming up here, which would be interesting if another one fires bullish. So now we've got a number of candles. We've got right in here, looks like that's a new all-time high, but right in here you've got this upper slope and maybe a flat top right here into consolidation with a bearish doji, and we're breaking out of that. So we'll see if the squeeze if the squeeze triggers. It triggers on this candle and retests, and then just goes a little bit higher. Someone's buying up here. It was not me. And I think we're pretty close to the close, right? Oh no, a little bit longer to the close. Look at that rally though. From these candles with a squeeze formed and triggered, a pullback here to the previous high, just like we saw a pullback to the triangle, a pullback to the pre-market high with that candle. Now we've got the, let's see, where was it? This candle pulling back to the previous highs from over here and just continued going up. So let's see, there's not really anything substantial to pull back to with that candle, that bearish candle, maybe this 1573 price. So we'll see what happens. It breaks out even higher, and it rallied in the close. So that was it. Didn't even come back anymore. There was 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 25 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and then all singles. So, I mean, the most that it was moving bearish today was 25 minutes worth of bearish candles here. All of them, for the most part, they're trending up, even though these two had a higher low. But anyway, that is a look at the stock movement. And now I'm going to switch back over to looking at the options. You can see the options moved. Now again, not knowing what it was going to do, seeing an open, then a bearish candle here, but trying to play that, you could have broken that. You got it in on the breakout above, retest of that, whatever it is, because our trend is bullish, and that was a bearish candle, people taking profits. It's understanding the sentiment, what happens. So taking a look then at just this range, this is today on the options. So the 1570 call expiring today and the 1560 call expiring today. And which one's flatter? This one, the 70, because it spent more time out of the money. So anytime it went up a little bit, the premium dried up. And similarly here, we had kind of a gentle slope up and then just sideways move between 1140 and 875. So that's just a tight range here. But the same retest that we saw up here, you know, so once it's actually in the money, 1560 here, you know, this is your retest, and you got a nice clean one right here back to the high of this candle on the option. It's a little bit hard. Excuse me. It's a little hard to see here because we didn't pull back to a specific level in the option. We pulled back to a triangle breakout, if you call this a slight triangle here, maybe a flat bottom triangle. Excuse me. So this was a slight pullback here on this option, and then some more chop, and then just a rally. And in here, similarly, we had just some sideways action and then a rally. And so this is where the option premium is being lost, because you're just losing time at the afternoon of an expiration Friday. And then it still ran up to these, did a double take and came back up. And similarly here, we ran up. Some folks wanted to sell and got back in, or something like that. But yeah, it's just incredible to see the moves like this, to see how easy it was to be able to pick an option that maybe at open you didn't know what was going to happen with it. That's some of the commitment to knowing how to trade the candles, what to look for, what your opportunity is to recognize the movement of price of the options, and this may not even be the right one to use. If you look at the 1575 expiring, that expired today, and you can see there was a couple smaller rallies back in here. Let's see if we can show one here. So maybe this one somewhere in here having a low, could have just held all day, would have been painfully slow, or gotten out at a slight profit, then just more chop all day, and then here just some of these candles with how this played out. A doji here and tiny, but the option price moved significantly, and then the next candle will break out, and could have gotten in for a couple of those, pull back on it again for a lot of opportunities, a lot of places to look to get profits. So now on the daily we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish candles in a row, and we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of those are bullish retest, and this one, it was a bearish gap and go, but it didn't play out that way. But there's been a number of gaps here, and there could be even more with this continuing higher to easily 1600. It's a stone's throw away. At some point there should be a pullback, and that's when you want to buy, but that needs to be something that we review some more and spend some time figuring out exactly what to do and how to plan for it. So we'll be back on Monday to take a look at some more charts here for Amazon, because here we are just in Amazon.